So the word around town is that Cash Me Outside girl just signed a deal with Atlantic Records worth millions. And this got a lot of rappers out here salty. Rappers and maybe even some producers. Maybe you saw the news, maybe you didn't, but what is her name, Richie? Bhad Bhabie? Is it Bhad Bhabie? We don't know because I'm sorry. I don't have many 14-year-olds within my particular playlist, but I saw the news. Congratulations, Cash Me Outside girl. You got your deal with Atlantic. I wish you the utmost best. Do your thing. Do your thizzle. Let's address the rappers out here who are completely angry. They're perturbed. They're disturbed. They're pissed. They are pissed to the highest levels of festivity about this young lady signing a deal with the major label when in their minds, there are so many deserving rappers who deserve to get a record deal. They deserve to be signed. They deserve to be seen by the masses. Here's a contradiction in that statement. The same individuals that I see, I've seen on my Facebook or even on my Twitter timeline that are complaining about deserving rappers who should get a shot at this opportunity to be signed, they're the same ones that a week before were downplaying major labels to begin with and saying, man, y'all don't need to sign to these major labels. You need to be independent and just go find your audience. You can't be pissed at the major labels and then at the same time be pissed at the major labels for two different contradicting reasons. Either you want to be independent or you want to be signed. I don't judge either one, but here's my take. Here's my take on this particular Cash Me Outside girl signing and what do I feel that it represents for the music industry today. What my opinion of where things are going right now when it comes to the music industry is that I feel that it's less and less and less. I mean, through the years, it's already been this, but it's less and less about your talent. It's less and less even about your particular, lyrical capabilities as a rapper. This is obvious. This is not the forefront of music. There's some exceptions to the rule, but the forefront of music is not about lyricism. It's going from being really about the image and branding mixed together with music, but now it's not even so much somebody having quality music or even having their own wave anymore. What it's about now is that social media influencers are now becoming the rappers that were getting signed for booty deals. They're becoming those folks nowadays. And you got to think of it, try to think of it from this aspect of, we know that the music business, the music industry, the major labels, we know this is a business, right? Try to think of it and take your heart out of it, take your emotions out of it. Try to look at this from a business. If you were a business that employed a certain type of employee to make you money, and then over the years, these employees became more demanding. And as they became more demanding, of course, you had to put more money into it, but it wasn't returning the money that you thought it should return, or it wasn't pushing forward the branding or the messaging that you would want to push forward. What seems more appealing, working with that particular difficult employee or working with this social influencer that just wants to be famous? Working with somebody that's like, I don't have no problems with artist integrity because I'm not even an artist. I just want to be famous. I just want to get popping. And then on top of that, skip that. You bring the social influencer in, and for that 15 minutes of fame, because they have millions and millions of followers based upon something outside of music, they get to flip a bigger profit. Now you're seeing the Cash Me Outside girl in commercials now. Now you're seeing the Cash Me Outside girl, in YouTube advertisements and other people's YouTube channels. And she's getting paid for all these different opportunities for appearances at different events. They can flip a profit a lot faster than getting this super duper miracle rapper that comes in here and is just so skilled talent wise, but just cannot flip a profit fast enough for them. So when you look at it from the perspective of this, I want you rappers and producers to feel encouraged by this girl getting signed. Because what does this mean? What this means is that the same rebellious nature of an independent rapper and producer that once said we don't need major labels, and then we flipped around and we did our thing independently, that same rebellious nature presented their rebellious nature. So now their rebellious nature is, we're not even gonna get people who have any history in music, because let it be known, you know, I don't know if y'all know, but the young lady has a ghostwriter. She is definitely a great performing artist when it comes to taking those lyrics and making it believable that she's doing that. But she got a writer. Matter of fact, I know the writers, or writer, one of the writers I know at least. You know, so you have to understand that now these stars, these superstars, are being manufactured in a whole nother way, and now it's being pushed through the avenue of hip hop, where we haven't been used to that, because we're used to authentic writers and authentic situations. But then think about this too. Think about, you know, the entire news about Drake having the ghostwriters and the whole Meek Mill situation and how that went and how that became such a public spectacle. Now think about the culture of somebody that's 13, 14 years old thinking about, look, I wasn't come up in a generation where an artist integrity was everything. I came up in a generation where you get famous by any means. Now they're looking at that Drake situation saying, man, well, if the best dude in the game got a ghostwriter, who am I not to have a ghostwriter? So what this marks to me is a few different shifts in the culture right now. The culture that is hip hop. You know, for those of you that are feeling bitter and feeling some type of way, do not feel that type of way. What you should be feeling right now is that you have now had your back put against the wall, and now you need to be focused in on whatever you can do to connect with your fan base and grow that fan base. Because just like you're irritated by seeing something like that in the limelight, there's hordes of people who are irritated with it. Just like you love classic hip hop or the sound of classic lyricism, there's an audience out there that loves that. So instead of exerting your energy trying to tear that down, once you find that energy that you had to tear that down and build something up here within the confines of the independent, which is really not confines because it's limitless where you can go. There's artists right now who are independent going worldwide tours. You can create the same thing if you exert that energy towards there. So stop worrying about the young lady signing her deal, quote unquote deal, because we know that record label deals are really just bank loans. And for those of you that have known that how many movies you gotta see? From the TLC movies to the NWA, how many movies do we gotta see before we know what a record deal is? What you tripping off of? So now the people out in this world who are just, because I'm pretty sure that young lady was just a regular Joe Schmo. She's just a regular person out here. And then she got on Dr. Phil and was acting bad as hell. And then all of a sudden blew up overnight. And now she's riding that success. She's riding the virality of that. And now she's spawned a career off of that now. So this is the name of the game now. Don't get angry about it. Readjust to it. This should be an opportunity for you to say, okay, it's not enough for me to just rap well. It ain't enough for me to just make beats well. I have to create a culture around my music that gains people here, that brings people into what I'm doing, that makes them interested into who I am. You need to start vlogging. You need to start figuring out ways to get your story out there the clearest way possible to people that need to hear it the most. That's all marketing is. Find a way to make your message as clear as possible to the people that need to hear it the most. Stop the complaining. Stop the bitching. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to doing what we're supposed to do. People who are natural born artists, natural creators, we have been put here on this earth to connect with the people. Stop trying to sell your story, your sob story of being a starving artist to folks in suits who they're sitting up here looking at their money and saying, what is going to flip my profit the fastest? This is their game. That's their money game. So stop trying to look for a morale system in that when you have all the capabilities to do everything that they can do for you right here, right now with the internet. Once again, it's another Curspiration Doodle. If you need some more of this juice, please subscribe to the channel below and be a part of the notification gang. Hey, thank you to my Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Curtis King if you're interested. And, rappers and producers, I'm sure all of y'all are not out there salty, but for those of y'all that are salty, tell me why you're mad. Leave a comment. Tell us why you're mad. And if you're not salty, explain to other folks what this time period means. We should feel empowered by this situation now. We should feel empowered that social influencers are now the ones that they have to desperately go after in order to flip a profit. Because what that means is we might be near the end of the traditional existence of a record label. Share your comments below. Chop it up with each other, engage. I appreciate you all. In this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com.
listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.